The NFL is a copycat league. There are going to be teams out there that will ramp up their play calling for either wide receiver or tight end to carry the ball in copying Deebo Samuel. I don't think you really can copy what Deebo Samuel does. He really is a running back that is a wide receiver. His body type, when you watch the tape of Deebo running, he's setting up blockers like a running back does. Where a lot of these running wide receivers and even tight ends, it's like you can tell they're catching the ball and they're just going as fast as they can. Run, 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 run. Deebo, he's slowing down, he's cutting, he's going as fast as he can too, but you can see him lining up his blockers. Even on a pitch out that he scored a touchdown, it's the 3 or 4 yard line. He's working it, he's running along the sideline, he's seeing the defense, he's seeing his offensive line out there, and the guy's blocking, and he's following them in, and he gets into the touchdown. And that is unique in a lot of wide receivers. So it's not like you can just sit there and take a wide receiver or even take a tight end and plug him in and, okay, you're the next Deebo Samuel. But that being said, there are going to be teams that will do that. They saw the success. They saw what it did to defenses. Now, maybe this season, defenses get a little bit more accustomed to that and they get wise to it, and so they're different looks. It was kind of like the Wildcat when that first down happened down in Miami. Miami first few games, everyone was kind of confused, and then defenses were like, oh no, this is how you handle it, and that went pretty much nowhere. But with the Deebo Samuel, part of it is him as a special talent. You look back at his combine, and that is what a lot of them, the scouts, said. Like, he is a running back body. He's built like a running back. He's solid. He's thick in a wide receiver. And so you have that type of situation with Deebo. So it almost makes sense for him to go in that direction. But it doesn't mean that teams aren't going to try. The Patriots, they tried it with Jonnu Smith and Kendrick Bourne, Rondell Moore. He was being tried in it. Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore. And some of these guys, they have that body type, and you could see them being worked a little bit more. I don't see like a Tyreek Hill. He's too valuable in deep balls and catches and runs after the catch for Mahomes, but maybe a little bit more screens, those kind of things. You could see some wide receivers coming in on this draft class, like a Drake London or Chris Olave, or even a Treylon Burke, where Treylon Burks kind of fits that body type, has that kind of speed. He can be used a lot of different ways, and so maybe a player like him going into the right situation, he could end up being a Deebo-like. But what that does kind of do also for some wide receivers, it might actually extend their career. Maybe they get a better chance of getting picked, getting drafted. I think of a guy, Danny Gray. He had actually a really good combine in the 40. He 4.33, which the average is like 4.5. So he has some speed. He has some good cutting ability. He's fast. He's nimble. He has good cutting ability, but he's kind of small on the outside. So he's more of a returner, kick returner. He's more of a punter returner, a guy who can work the middle, a possession receiver. So somebody like him, who is the 79th ranked out of the 100 players, he's 27th ranked wide receiver, he's going in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. Somebody like him, now all of a sudden, maybe the team that gets him wants to implement a Deebo type style offense. He's 6'1", 182. He's speed. He's got good cutting ability. Maybe somebody like that is what now steps up. Other teams, using guys that they have already, maybe Jonnu Smith is used more with the Patriots. Kendrick Bourne is more used that way. Think of even like a Van Jefferson. Could he be utilized in that type of aspect when you've got Kupp and Beckham on the outsides. You get the tight end there. It's like, okay, maybe we use Jefferson as a Debo kind of guy. There will be teams that will do that, and searching preseason, watching how some of these teams utilize, these players is really going to help you to determine, maybe you take a chance on a guy that, instead of like taking him in the, 13th round, maybe you take him in the 10th round or something like that, because, you've been watching the preseason, you've been, reading up on him, and you trying to use him in a Debo style type offense. And I think that will be something that will be interesting to see. I think waiver wire guys, that's where you're really going to be looking at it too, because, they might not show that in preseason. They might not talk about it, but all of a sudden you start seeing teams utilizing that type of situation. And I mean, granted, San Francisco also had like no running backs. I think they went through like 7 or 8 running backs during the season. So that was also a factor in Debo coming as a running back as well. But I think because it works so well, it's something that's going to stick. It's something that these teams are going to go after and they're going to look at. And I think it's going to be something that other teams are going to copy. It's a copycat league, like I said. And I think other teams are going to look at that, see the success. Hey, can we take Jalen Waddle and use him as a Debo type as well? He already broke the rookie record for receptions. If we put him in the backfield, does that make the defenders just hold just a few more seconds longer than they normally would? And does that give him a chance to run past them? Teams are going to look for different ways to showcase their talent. A wide receiver who can set up blocks and run like a running back, that you can do a quick screen and it's not just catch and go and, just try to break it, but who actually has the strength and has the body type to actually break that arm tackle that a lot of wide receivers don't. I mean, I think that's going to help your team so much more and more immensely, and just you as a player, and that's going to help us in fantasy. It's going to, Dynasty, it's like, does all of a sudden AJ Brown stock rise, because all of a sudden they're using him as a running back as well, and he's getting rushing yards, he's getting receiving yards. Leave a like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter and all our other platforms. See you guys soon.